Is it fair to say that from the beginning, since the band was formed in such a, um, at such a time, we should remember this is fresh after the LA riots.
Yes.
This is basically 3 years later.
Mm.
There's still remnants around the city of those, of the uprising, if you will. Is it fair to say that you guys felt like you had to continue to champion the causes that you cared about since you were born in this in this kind of scenario of fighting for a cause, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that when you look at where Raul came from, he was working in political sector of Sacramento. Uli and I both, came from very leftist, radical politics. Our parents were, very left, and so we've kind of always been, struggling with that, if you will, or wanting to be a part of a movement for social change. And so when we started the band, there was no different. We were already into that, and the bands that we liked growing up, I think for me, like, I was really into the Clash, Bruce Springsteen. Even my parents were into Gil Scott-Heron. These are just bands that I grew up with, where I was taught that that's what music was supposed to serve, was the people and the movement. So I was always that was always in the back of my mind and with what I wanted to do.
Raul, were you influenced also by sort of politically or socially minded artists?
Yeah, at that time, I was learning a lot of older, like, canción, like learning that whole history and learning a lot of those artists and kind of the importance of them throughout the Americas, and I had a group of cats who were a little bit older than me in LA that I'd show up and they loved my enthusiasm and they loved that I cared about these songs because I was kind of like a little rocker kid. I'd show up and all these songs to me were very moving, important. I saw it right away, and they each had personal histories. One of the brothers was Chilean, one of the brothers was from Mexico City, one of the other musicians was from Central America. So they had all these perspectives that were very in line with, for me as a Chicano growing up in Boyle Heights, like they're very much in line with the same perspective of kind of wanting, a basic kind of human dignity that you see many people throughout the world kind of craving for, at some points fighting for. And I heard a lot of these messages in these songs. So, that's one of the ways we got Como Ves onto the record. Was it Chuy? I don't know if you know Chuy Flores. Chuy Perez, who is a longtime LA musician, was part of a group of musicians. Also, the introduction off of our first record, Aquí No Será, which was written by people who were part of the movement in El Salvador. So these were just songs that I knew. And when was like, what are we gonna play? The first rehearsal was like, what are we gonna play? And I remember those are two things that I said, well, I know these songs. And I think that right away the fun about how things came about, and I don't think we realized it at the time, was we didn't even have to know a particular style perfectly. Like I remember Will saying, I play like funk and reggae, and I'm like, just here's the chords, just play whatever. I don't even think there was a drummer first on Aquino Será, and put a beat. So we just played it to that. So we just adjust the feel, and kind of make it to a place where it feels good. And I think that's kind of been the method the whole way, kind of our all contributions and what we like to do as individuals and find a way to make it work as a group.